We had to go Bronco colors for the win yesterday. But you guys, our call today is called Breakthrough is Built in the Basics, and we're really excited to go over this. And I know for Kyle and I, coming out of conference was obviously like full steam ahead, and then it was like a little overwhelming, and then it was kind of like, okay, what do we need to focus on? And I don't know if anybody else felt like that, but it took me like 2 weeks coming out of conference to feel like I got my bearings back. So this is a call that hopefully lines up with some of that. And let's see, let me get my notes pulled up because I have some.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting back into the normal routine can feel funny. And I know, like, coming out of a conference, you're so excited. You're like hyped up on life. You've got this huge vision. And then you get back into your office in your house all alone. And you're like, where did all that magic go that I was feeling with, 5,000 people in the room? And so we're going to break down just how the basics are, where we find our breakthrough, and hopefully shine some light on that today.
Yep. And I think I'll add to it too. Like you do come out of conference and it's all of these things, but I think the biggest thing that a national conference does is it gets you fired up and it gets you thinking about the future. It gets you thinking about dreaming about what this currently is for you, like the freedom and life that you're able to currently live right now because we're here. And then it gets you dreaming about, man, a year from now, like next conference, like I'm going to be up in that AO section or whatever that might be for you. It gets you dreaming. And then you come back into your office and you're sitting between your four walls and it's like, okay, what do I actually have to do to get there? And again, it's a lot of mental, yes, but like the actual day-to-day practical side of this, you guys, are what we want to talk about. And just reminding us truly how simple this business is. And in that simplicity, there can become kind of the mundane basic tasks that we get to do day to day. And it's like I say get to, because again, that's going to be the thing that gets us to that fired up dream vision that we have a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. So that's what we want to speak to today. But yeah, excited for it.
That's where we're going. I think we're going to start with a little bit of mindset stuff, Kyle, so I'll let you start there.
Yeah. So first off, I'll have you guys type in the chat. Um, what is the last thing that you complained about? Like big or small? Think about the last thing that you complained about. I mean, it could be like
5 minutes ago,
five
before the
minutes ago, like
call.
waking up, like, oh man, I'm sore today after that run, or oh man, I hate that my coffee's cold. It could be big too, right? Like it could be a big complaint. Broken zipper on the jeans. I, it's fair. That's a big thumbs down. Yeah, these are all so good. Yeah, kids being gone, out of coffee. Being out of coffee is worse than cold coffee.
So true. That's like a crisis in our household.
Person driving too close behind me. That ticks me off. I feel that. Just being sore after working out. Monday, period. So good.
These are funny. I
New
love how
dog stepping
everyone
on.
can think of it too. Like, we
Yep.
all have one.
Yep. The reason I ask this was a one of my friends, and for you guys that were at the leadership retreat before conference, I've talked about one of my buddies who he's a missionary out in kind of 1040 window area, if y'all know where that's at. But he sent out a newsletter just this last weekend, and he gave a challenge, and the challenge, simply put, was what would it be like to not complain, like genuinely, because there's so many things that like ticky tacky things, and this is again kind of jumping the gun on what we'll talk about a little bit, but I just wanted to get some of these out there because it's so easy like to complain, and it's so easy to make a side comment of man, I'm really hating how rainy it is lately. I'm really bummed it. I need some more sunshine. I'm bummed that it's getting colder or staying too hot or whatever that small complaint might be. But it's again, it's normal to complain. But what complaining does to us is it, even though it's small, gets us into this complaining mindset, and it can drain our energy. And again, breakthroughs are going to come from focusing on basic things, focusing on good things, and not focusing on little things even throughout the day that, yeah, we can complain about. So I'll circle back on that at the end of the call, but just wanted to kind of prime the pump with complaining, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. So
hmm Yeah. And we want to have you guys unmute for this bit too and talk about just basics of the business. Let's talk about what are the basics or the parts of our business that are non-negotiable for us every single day to do. Let's name a few.
Dialing.
Dialing.
Organization,
Say that again, Rick.
being organized.
Being organized. Yep.
Mm.
Daily non-negotiables. How do we make money around here, you guys?
With appointments.
Appointments. Man, it's so hard to unmute in Zoom. I feel like three people just went and I only heard gaps.
What did you say, Dana? Was that your voice?
I said applications and appointments. So it was,
Apps and appointments.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark,
Yeah.
I saw you unmuted too. Did you say one?
Leads.
Leads, buying
Mm.
leads.
Connections
Yep.
with people, with just people here and our clients.
hmm We had to posting about the business, sending those warm market DFL texts, resets, stirring up some business, following up underwriting, like so many things, right? Like I would define these all as pretty basic things, but some pretty powerful things, right? Kyle and I were talking about how it's crazy you can run an appointment, run your play, and you get a no sale or you get to think about it. You can run the exact same play an hour later and write a $3,000 app, right? Like it's basic because we can replicate this business and get like such a wide range of results. But we can't bail on the most basic parts of our business because that is where the breakthrough is. And so that's what we want to focus on. And something I remember we learned from Ashley Tarr was, and you guys, if you're on our team, have heard me say this probably way too many times, but if you're worried about one, you just don't have enough. And that is true for every area of our business. If you're worried about one appointment, you don't have enough appointments. If you're worried about one new agent you're trying to drag through pre-licensing, you don't have enough people in pre-licensing. If you're worried about one client that canceled their application, you don't have a big enough book of business yet. So if you're worried about one, you guys, you just don't have enough. And it's not in a way that's like, you don't have enough, but it's just reality, like you don't have enough. And that's okay because that's fixable. And that comes through the basics. So that just means we have to jump back on the phones and get a few more appointments. But I have a story about breakthroughs happening on the other side of consistent basics. And so I'm going to share that with you guys. Let me get my screen back here. As many of you know, Kyle and I, and by Kyle and I mean I, signed us up for 2 half marathons in the next, actually in 2 weeks. We will be running our first half marathon. 2 weeks later, we'll be running a second one because I didn't think running one would be good enough. So we're doing 2 in 2 weeks, which is a little crazy. I'm not sure why I did that. But actually, I do remember because Christina Watts was on a team call back in maybe February or March, and she challenged people with, you have to have big enough dreams to hold the dreams of your team. And that has been like a really big theme for us this year, and like doing things that make you uncomfortable and are hard and stretch you. And that's kind of where the whole half marathon thing came. But I've learned a lot on this running journey, you guys. I was a sprinter in high school and college, but I had never run further than maybe a few miles. And when I say that, I maybe did that a few times. Like I was never a runner. So this has been a really interesting journey, to say the least, just mentally, honestly. Like I never ever in a million years would have thought that we would be doing this. And I only signed Kyle up because I knew he would do it and be my positive coach the whole time. So, and that has been true. But this has been really challenging for me mentally and physically. And I want to just share a story of this timeline because our very first run we went on after I signed us up for those halves was March 31st. Our race is not until September 20th. So there's a lot that goes into training for something like this when you are someone who's never run. So, I try like 4 different plans. I'm trying to figure out which one is good, whatever. We go on our first run. I think that was hard. That was like a really hard 2.8 miles for me. 11-minute, 19-second pace. Not bad for not running or working out in months and months and months, right? And then fast forward to July 17th. Okay. Here's a few of the very many runs that we have been on since March. Okay. These are all of my Strava logs. If you guys are on Strava, these are all of our routes. And these are all, actually not even all of the runs because I couldn't fit them all. But let's go to July 17th. I titled this one The Run of Death. And I'm just super like candid in my Strava post because it's like a little running scrapbook for me. And I just vent about how terrible the runs are or whatever. So this one I called Run of Death. You guys, I literally cried 2 times on this run. I like had to stop and wheeze for a little bit going up this hill. Like literally I was wheezing. Kyle's like, babe, what's going on? I'm like, and just before this bit of the run, he was like, why are we doing these half marathons again? Like he was just genuinely asking. And I'm like saying how, I'm going to be so proud of myself and I just want to do something hard. And that's the whole point. And literally we get up to this hill and I start crying because I start thinking like, oh, I'm just still not doing enough. I'm not fast enough. My training's not working. Like, none of this is enough. When you get flooded with this thought of just like in every category of life, you're just not doing enough. That is what came over me like in the middle of this 4.5 miles. We were maybe on mile 2. It was pretty early. And I'm just like crying. Kyle's like, we got this. You're fine. All these things. And I'm like, okay, stop wheezing so you can keep running, Kristen. So we keep running, and I'm just honestly, I was like praying throughout the rest of the run. I was just trying to breathe in what was true. Like, I am doing enough, breathing in the truth, breathing out the lies. That's what was the next few miles. I stopped and cried again. I don't even know. Once you cry once and you're wheezing on a run, it's really hard to get your heart rate down. So it's just a whole thing. But we did it and we powered through and we got the 4.5 miles. But I just want to say, like, the approach I had to this run was tough. Like, my mindset going in was, 4.5, that sounds really far. I'm so mad about my mile time literally being the same as it was 3 months ago, even though I've done all of this running. And it just felt like nothing was breaking through on these runs. And you would expect after this many runs to be like a little bit faster. Or at least I was hoping so. And I'm just competitive with myself more than anything. So I'm like, why is that still so pathetic? And pathetic this, pathetic that, slow. How am I ever going to make it 13.1? Just a lot of negativity. And so, yes, Scabs, I'm competitive. And so I want to fast forward to yesterday, you guys. This far right one was our run. We ran 9 miles. And I have never in my life run that far. So it was like a breakthrough. And I kid you not, the breakthrough happened maybe in the last week or 2 when I started telling myself before the runs, like, this is going to be fun. I'm going to feel fast today. I'm going to be happy about these miles. And I know I can do it. Like, it all came, like, I dropped 45 seconds off of running double the length because of how I approached going into the run. And because I always kept running, even on the days that I didn't feel like it. And I just think that's such a testament to keeping going, even when we aren't seeing the results we want quite yet. And then half of that battle might just be how you're approaching it mentally and what you're speaking over your basics, what you're speaking over your dial sessions, what you're speaking over the posts you're making, the person you're talking to. I don't know. I think there was something there that was missing for me. And I know that this is a running analogy, but I think it's true for everything that we do in this business. I'll stop sharing this for a second.
Actually, keep sharing it, Kristen,
Okay.
if you don't mind if I chime in quick.
Yes.
Go back one, if you don't mind. So like a really practical thing, and as we were talking through this, that we were thinking about is, again, like March 31st, y'all, that's like, it's like new agent. This is, I'm excited, I'm fired up, like we're starting something new, like we're training for this half marathon, whatever race of
Gonna
life
change
that we
my
want to
life.
throw in there. And then, yeah, you're in it for a minute. It could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple months.
Mm.
You come to that July 17th run of death, which I'm going to be honest, like a lot, I'm not going to say all agents, but like a lot, I will say most agents go through something like that. I did. I'll raise my hand. Like I know there are other agents on here that have had that similar posture of, oh my word, why am I doing this? I'm negative self-talk. I'm complaining. I'm inward. Like it gets to that point, and that's real. And so there's going to be some point, whether it's big or small, in every agent's journey here, that we're going to get to that tough run. And that's the run again that we can either be like, all right, this running thing, not for me. Like it's for other people. There's rather I'm going to just weight lift. I'm just going to stick to, I don't know, whatever, insert whatever. And then there's going to be other people that have again the mindset of, okay, wow, this was tough, but I know if I keep going, I know I got the legs to do it. I know I got the mindset to do it. I just need to stop complaining, shift my mindset. And again, July to September, a couple months, but breakthrough happens through the mundane runs that happen between there, with paired with a positive mindset that this is going to get better. I'm going to get better. I'm going to grow. I'm going to become the person I need to become to run, 9 miles at a substantially faster pace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time, yes, but it's also a genuinely positive mindset, knowing that something is going to happen over the course of time because you're putting in the effort to do so.
Mm-hmm. We have a few other stories that play into this well that are more business side, but um, I just know there's a lot of you that are booking those appointments, and you're maybe in the part of the business where maybe even booking them is hard, but then, gosh, getting them to show, that's even harder. And then it's like, okay, they show, now I'm learning how to handle these objections, right? It's like a game, I always say. Like once you hit phase one, you've unlocked phase two. So now you get to work on phase two until you get to phase three. So that's just part of the learning curve. And if we gamify it, right, it's like a little more fun than it feels in the moment to have 7 appointments on your calendar and the first three no show, the fourth one sits and wants nothing to do with you. The one after that had to reschedule for something you probably are sure isn't even true. And then the sixth one and the seventh one. This was me like pretty early in the business. This day actually happened. And I was like, Kyle, I'm not calling my 7th appointment, so you're going to have to call it for me. I'm not calling him. I quit today. I'm not doing it. Like, these are the things that come out of Kristen's mouth. I'm like a little dramatic sometimes. Kyle's like, no, you're calling him. You're calling him. You got this. Get in there. You know what you're doing. Blah, blah, blah. And I kid you not, like every time I've had a day like that, I go write that 7th appointment. Or I go sit that last appointment, and it's like the most sobering story of clients that are sitting in front of me. And I'm like, Kristen, pull your stuff together. These people need your help, right? But if we bail on our basics and we go into it with a negative mindset, like we are not going to be able to serve that family well. And that's happened literally so many times in the business. I'll call Jennifer, I'm ready to be done with this. She'll be like, go for one more, go for one more. I go write a big app. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen for you every time, but if we quit and we bail on our basics, like it's guaranteed not to happen. So that story always sticks with me. And then I want to share a story too about posting on social media about our business because we've been doing that since we started here 2.5 years ago. And there were so many times that I'm like, what is the point of posting? This seems dumb. I don't think people get it. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't know what we do. I think people think, well, our business is a scam, like all of these things. And like Nobody ever came from me posting, like for 2 years, it felt like. And then one day, I post a story and someone replies and says, Kristen, I've been watching you for 2 years. I saw you and Kyle start the business. I saw you guys hit agency owner. Like, I've been following your journey for 2 years. Can you tell me more about what you guys do? And then you're like, oh my goodness, thank goodness I never stopped doing the basic thing and posting about what we get to do. Because that person was Morgan. And Morgan is here now. And that's why Anna's here. And that is why Peyton is on this call. And that is why Ainsley and Brian are here. And why Jamie is on our team. Because I never stopped posting about what we get to do. And had I bailed on the most basic thing that I am good at, we wouldn't have those incredible people on our team. And that would make me so sad. It really would. So just push through, you guys. When you start having these conversations with yourself, that's like, why am I even dialing? This is so pointless. I haven't even written an app. I made 700 dials this week and I had 2 appointments. Like when you catch yourself being negative, like let's reframe that and then power through because I promise your breakthrough is on the other side of it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to, again, humanize some of it even a little bit more too. Again, there was a lot of times, Kristen, that I know you wanted to stop posting about this business. Like the love-hate relationship with social media
It's strong.
is strong. But again, it's like powering through that, going through that.
Yep.
And that's real. Like you guys, we get it. We understand that. And that's what we're speaking to. And then also, again, those conversations that you've had where you've written applications on people on the sixth or seventh,
Mm-hmm.
6 no shows, and on the seventh person, again, these are just real life examples. And then on that seventh one, it's it's 2 sisters who they just buried their mom the day before,
Yeah.
and now they need insurance because they don't want their little sister to go, to be without a house when she's older.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kristen had a negative mindset and didn't even want to show up for the appointment because she was tired of it, wouldn't have been able to help this family that is, yeah, actively in dire need of something like that.
Yeah.
So again, we have to show up. Like we owe it not only to ourselves but to others, you guys, to show up for other people in those types of ways.
Yeah.
So that would
Yeah.
be something that I would just challenge again everybody. And this is something that we have been thinking through, and we have a few that we'll share too. But if you want to type it in the chat, if you just want to write it down, you guys, like what are the basic tasks that you will focus on today, this week, and this month that you will be consistently doing? Not only consistently doing, but again, with like we talked about in the beginning of the call, a positive mindset. And I want to challenge, this was a challenge I received again from my buddy who's overseas, but I want to my goal is to go the whole rest of the year, and Lord willing, longer than that, right? But going the whole rest of the year, being cognizant of, I'm not going to complain. Like, I don't want to be a complainer anymore. Even if it's bad weather or this or that, complaining is out. Like, I'm done with that. And again, other things that again bleed into that. So like, what are basic tasks that we get to do? And again, write them down, think about them. We wrote down a few of them because this business is pretty simple, but how can we do those tasks well, but also with a heart of positivity, of joy, and intentionally not complaining throughout the day?
I love it. These are good ones. Passing a test, positive self-talk. Yes. Love these. Yeah, and I just think like in different seasons too, like your business needs different focuses. So like your basic in this season might be without a shadow of a doubt, I need 15 appointments on my calendar. Or 20 warm market texts are going out this week. Like that is the basic that my business needs in this season. Actually, those were terrible examples because your business actually needs both of those every week. But other things like, maybe it's more dials in this season than you have done in the last season. Dave, very good. Work and not golf. It's so funny. That is knowing yourself to lead yourself right there, Dave Calabro. That's good. Cool. And then we do have one little video we're going to share to kind of wrap this thing up and close with. But I'm super excited to watch everyone focus on their basics.
4 words that'll change your life. I do it anyways. Tired? I do it anyways. No support? I do it anyways. Scared shitless? I do it anyways. Afraid of failure? I do it anyways. Fear of rejection? I do it anyways. You don't build an amazing life or business or relationship by waiting for the perfect moment. You do it by showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. You do it anyways. That's how you win the game of life, with the mentality of I do it anyways.
And there you go.
Minus golf.
How did you get him to record that for you?
What's that, Tim?
How did you get him to record that for you?
I found it on Instagram, but I was like, the team needs to hear this. We thought it was so good.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, and I think technically the grammar's off. I saw it in the comments. Someone was like, I can't share this because that's bad grammar. It's supposed to say I do it anyway, but whatever. We all got the point. But I love that quote. So, like, let's celebrate doing it anyway this week, you guys. Like, let's cheer each other on in that because that is the stuff that moves our business forward. Like, the glamorous stuff is super fun, but we can't have the glamorous new writer or the big APV without doing the basics. So, that is what's worthy of being celebrated. And so, let's jump in the workroom and do that together and get some breakthroughs. This team is, I've been saying it for weeks, like we are on the brink of something. Like we are across the board on the brink of something incredible. And it's a team effort. So I love it.
Let's go.
What a great call, you guys. Like, loved the analogy and just how you brought just your personal side to this. And so thanks for sharing that. And what's the date of the first half marathon so we can all be cheering you on?
September 20th.
September 20th.
Not
In
this
the mount-
Saturday, but next at another
In the-
2,000-foot elevation up.
In the mountains of Colorado.
Yep.
Another, what, 8,000 feet, 8,500, 9,000? Okay. We'll be cheering you on from here.
Thank you.
Anyway, good job, you guys.
Thank
Excellent
you.
job. Thank you so much.
It's going to be an awesome week. Thank you guys for all starting the week with us. We'll see you in the workroom.
Have a good
Yeah,
one.
later. Happy
Great
Bye,
call,
guys.
guys. Bye.
See y'all.